Hi, this is Love from Tits and Giggles podcast. I love using Anchor because it's easy to operate and I can just pick up the phone and speak my mind whenever I want. I love the podcast availability because I can get it out to multiple platforms at the same time without having to go. It automatically generates your RSS feed and you get it out to your listeners. And I love the background music and all the sound effects. Loving Anchor so much. You should try it for yours. This is Love again with Tits and Giggles podcast. What's up, Tits and Giggles? Happy Monday. So, I was going through Twitter and I saw a post from a Janelle, let's see what her name was, Janelle B. And she was saying how, which I kind of hate talking about the Kardashians, but it's just a topic that I want to talk about just because I found it is a very interesting topic. So I'm going to play it for you of what she said.
Hot mess Kardashian relationships. Posters like this are not wrong when they point out that the Kardashian gals change personality with every single relationship that they're in. You want to guess why that is? When we are raised by narcissists or narcissistically abused, our self-image, our concept of self is completely destabilized. When that happens in childhood, it's especially devastating because you have a child that then grows up with no sense of who they are. And so as adults, they're constantly shape-shifting in a desperate search for love and acceptance and validation from the outside world, which, spoiler alert, lands them in a bunch of toxic relationships that don't last and a bunch of emptiness because self-love. So yeah, stuff like this, changing your personality, your aesthetic, your approach to life, even maybe your approach to parenting, not a shocker when you're the child of a narcissist. And you see this with all the other Kardashian sisters as well. They completely reinvent themselves, not based on their own self-exploration, but based on whatever man they're chasing in the moment. Just like they probably had to chase the love, validation, and approval of their narcissist mother, Kris. Narcs, the more you know. Hit the follow button.
So what do you guys think about that? I definitely think that's true. I know, like, with all of them, their relationships are pretty much on public display. So, I have saw, especially Kim, like, whoever she's dating, whether it's a black man, she's rocking the braids, the cornrows, and changing her aesthetic. And now she's dating Pete Davidson, and she's just looks more... They kind of look, I mean, she's dyed her hair blonde, his hair is blonde. It's kind of like single white female-ish almost. And then same with Kourtney. I mean, she was with Scott all those years, and she was with that model guy and all these people. And now that she's with Travis, she's kind of like more punk rock-ish looking. But yeah, I mean, not even in famous people, I know people personally that whoever they're dating, they kind of start acting like that person. I know, like, when I was younger, I could possibly definitely lose myself in who I was dating. I know that, like she said, does not last because when you become who you're dating, it's not really you. Now, I know people can do it for years and they're never happy because their happiness depends on who they're with, and it's like people let whoever they're with mold them into this person, and then when that relationship ends, they kind of like completely lost their self in that relationship. You know, I've been guilty of that. I think a lot of people, like she said, that are raised by narcissistic parents, you know, that's all you know, or even, you know, in my case, just in an abusive household, you know, where, you know, you kind of had to follow after who you were with. So yeah, I think that she definitely has a big point. I think that men do it too. I've seen men date a toxic woman and they completely change to be whoever she wants them to be, and they completely, like, when she breaks up with them or cheats on them or whatever, they completely fall apart. It's definitely problematic. And I mean, these ladies are in their 40s and still doing it. But I mean, we're talking about the Kardashians here. They're never, I mean, to me, they're not true, like, of who is their personality. It's kind of like they are whatever society wants them to be, or whoever they're with, or whatever looks good to the audience. I don't even know, but for us regular people, it is very dangerous to lose yourself in who you're dating or become like who you're dating, because if something were to happen, you will be completely like an empty shell, because you don't know who you are. You completely, I mean, obviously you're going to cater somewhat to who you're dating, because you guys have compromising relationships, but to completely lose who you are in a relationship is a very dangerous game. I know, like, in my relationship, me and my husband are definitely individuals, and we come together and we compromise, but we also have our own individual likes and wants, and that's what attracts us to each other. I wouldn't want someone that I can mold. I mean, that's what makes him him. I mean, I know that some people probably would like someone that they can mold or tell what to do, or it would be unproblematic, but it will be and would be very boring. I can promise you that, because somebody that you can completely control is like, you might as well have a robot. Which, let's be clear, the Kardashians are more than likely robots. But yeah, I thought that was pretty interesting. And I thought, man, that is something that I wanted to talk about and share, because, and for all you people, me, I always like to come with the definitions. The narcissist, let me give you the signs and symptoms just in case you don't know. So, are you a narcissist? The most common signs and symptoms of a narcissistic personality disorder. So, that the definition is possessing a sense of importance and uniqueness are important aspects of being a happy and fulfilled person. But those with narcissistic personality disorder, NPD, take things to an extreme. According to WebMD, the word narcissism comes from a Greek myth about a man who sees his own reflection in a pool of water and falls in love with it. While an exaggerated sense of one's attractiveness is certainly a characteristic of NPD, there are other symptoms that can indicate someone is suffering from this mental illness. And don't get me wrong, I think the Kardashians completely love who they are, but they do also morph into who they're dating. But for us regular folks, these are the signs. 1, always talks about themselves. Those with NPD tend to think and speak only of themselves, often about their physical appearance, talents, or achievements. Let's see. Of course, this is a lovely, go to the next page, site. 2, they fantasize. According to the Mayo Clinic, the minds of people with NPD tend to be filled with elaborate fantasies about success, power, brilliance, beauty, or the perfect mate. Like I said, also seems like more of that. They believe they are superior. That's 3. States that people with NPD often have a grandiose sense of self-importance, leading them to feel superior to most. Definitely true. They require constant praise. Despite how outwardly confident they are often incredibly insecure and have very fragile self-esteem. Very true. They have a sense of entitlement, expecting others to offer them special favors and fulfill their requests without question. They take advantage of others. People are naturally drawn to narcissists, finding them attractive, charismatic, and exciting, so they can easily take advantage of you. They're envious of others. Experiencing envy from others is one of their symptoms. Because they have a low self-esteem, they need to be superior to others. Narcissists see people who have things they don't, such as tangible items, status, or admiration, as threats. They enjoy being the center of attention. Since narcissists need constant praise from others in order to feed their low self-esteem, and because they feel superior to others, they crave attention at all times and will often seek it out, which means you will be getting cheated on if you are not giving them enough attention. 9, they lack empathy. This one isn't all that surprising considering all of their traits on the list. Narcissists often lack empathy. They're unable to empathize with others or understand other people's perspective to comprehend their struggles. 10, they have boundless ambition. Having goals or ambitions in life is good, but narcissists take it to a whole nother level because they feel superior to others and think they're naturally special. They often set boundless ambitions for themselves. Narcissists fantasize about being the best of the best. 11, they're incredibly insecure. This one might seem odd because of all the other characteristics on the list, such as being charming, entitled, and believing they're superior to others. But people who suffer from narcissism are usually incredibly insecure, which is why they feel the need to put others down. 12, they're incredibly charming. Upon first impression, narcissists come off as incredibly charming and confident. But as the relationship develops, their behavior becomes demeaning and aggressive. They're extremely competitive, always striving to win. They hold grudges. On the outside, narcissists might seem like they are extremely confident and they don't care what others think, but in reality, they're extremely sensitive and care very deeply about maintaining their idealized image of themselves, which is definitely, they're very, like they said, insecure. They don't take criticism well. Most of us have experienced a time or two when we become frustrated over things not going our way or had a hard time taking criticism from others. Is natural. We're only human, but when it comes to narcissists, their inability to handle fault goes much deeper. They are unable to cope with things don't go their way and will be hard-pressed to ever admit fault when they're wrong, which makes it impossible for them to take any kind of criticism, even constructive. Be aware of those people that if you just tell them, you hurt my feelings, they completely act like you killed them. 16, their perfectionism. There's no denying that narcissists often think highly of themselves, but while some are content with just looking successful to people, others may actually want to achieve what they consider a flawless performance. Psychology Today explains how those labeled with vulnerable narcissism may need to achieve perfection in order to achieve fulfillment. And they want you to be perfect also. They feel depressed. Another mental illness narcissists can develop is depression. Psychology Today reports how those diagnosed with pathological narcissism carry an increased risk of depression. And they're never happy. They're not perfect. They have difficulty regulating their emotions. Narcissists are not always the best at regulating their emotions. This term can be generally prescribed as a person's ability to effectively manage and respond to an emotional experience. When they feel contempt, one of the last things a narcissist wants is to encounter a person who appears to have something they lack. This can take a hit on their ego and leave them no choice but to act as if the person is beneath them. This is one of their defense mechanisms. And 20, not all narcissists are the same. Narcissism is a spectrum. People may carry only a few characteristics, traits, or it might be a diagnosed personality disorder. There are also different types of narcissists that can sometimes explain the severity and reasoning behind a person's behavior. You can learn more about narcissistic personality disorder by searching online or talking to a mental health professional. So, of all those symptoms, if you're dating somebody like that, which there's a lot of narcissists, I've dated some, I have family members that are, you have to just be careful and set boundaries with people like that. You could already be in a relationship with one, but do your best to try to be you and not lose yourself in any relationship. That's friendship, that's marriage, that's dating, whatever. Like, don't lose yourself in that, because once that person who is never going to be happy because of all the things they have dealing with is done with you, it will destroy you if you lost yourself. So, if you don't learn anything, just learn from the Kardashians and how many relationships they've burned through, especially Kim and Chloe. But that is it for me on Tits and Giggles. You guys enjoy your week, and I am signing off. Have a good one. Many blessings.